Cheltenham. It's the beginning of a 3-show day. I think it's about 7:20 now. So I am just going to do a little bit of exercise, then have a shower, have some breakfast, and get ready to head over to the theatre. So we've had breakfast, etc., and all that business, and now we're just walking into the theatre from our digs. It takes us about 5 or 10 minutes at most, which is nice to be very close. And once we arrive, we'll start getting set up and changed for the first show of the day at 10 o'clock, which is Hansel and Gretel. So while we're getting set up for Hansel and Gretel upstairs, I've just nipped down into the dressing room to grab some of our lights. We use them obviously in the windows and stuff in Hansel and Gretel, and we also use them in the lamps in Christmas Carol. So we've got 4 sets, and in between shows they come down to be recharged so we can use them on a cycle. So I'm just going to grab 2 sets now and take them upstairs to put them in the windows for Hansel and Gretel. Just checking the bubbles are ready. So bubbles are ready. I've put the spell in the witch's wand, and as you can see, all of the set is ready to go now. So I think we're just going to check the lights and the haze, and then we'll head downstairs to get into costume. Right, so we had a little bit of a problem with the witch puppet, so we had to just remove one of her hands and fix that, which is kind of always the case. In fact, there's always running repairs and stuff to do, checks to make sure that everything is in kind of good working condition before we start the show. Anyway, as you can see, we're now in costume. It's about, what is it, 10:45?
It's about 10 to. You really need
It's about 10 to. I'm a little bit late, so I need to go up and I kind of hang out while the audience are coming in, just to make sure everything stays under control before we get started. So, just heading up the stairs to go in and get things started. Okay, so that's one show down. We've literally just finished that performance of Hansel and Gretel, which was absolutely lovely. We had a really lovely little school group at the front. They were great.
Nursery, they were telling.
Nursery, yeah. They were lovely. They're so sweet. So now the next thing today is we've got Christmas Carol at 2:30. So the next job to do before we stop or get changed is to take all of the Hansel and Gretel set, put it into the space over there, and get all of the Christmas Carol set out and set up ready for the 2:30 show.
So these are Lucy and Yak dungarees. Maybe Nora will put a link in the description. They're brilliant. They're for our costume. They're so comfortable, but also they've got pockets. So many big pockets, so I can fit all of the lights that we have in the set into the pockets of my Lucy and Yaks at the end. Like a kangaroo or something. My baby lights. It's now 11:38 apparently, according to in our van, and we have finished resetting. Well, pretty much. This is how we'll now leave it. We'll go off for a quick break, get some lunch, and then when we come back, we'll put everything into its places for the preset, which means moving the lamps, setting the grave, setting the wreaths and things. We don't like to leave the lights on for too long, but this is basically good for now, and we will be back in here again at about 1:30.
So we've just come out of the theatre now, and while we could stay in there and kind of wait in there for the next show, or sit in the dressing room or the green room or something like that, it's actually nice to get out and have a little break outside. So we're just walking down the street to a cafe, just going to go and sit there, have a coffee for a little while, and then we'll head back to the theatre, as A said before, I think, for about 1:30. So it's 1:55 now, and we've been out for a little break, just to have a coffee and a change of scene. Now we're back in the dressing room, and time to have some lunch, really. We've bought a little packed lunch with us to save sort of having to go out and buy stuff every day. So we'll eat that, and the tricky thing really is to make sure, it's always difficult actually, when we've got this many shows in a day, to make sure that you eat sensibly. You don't want to eat a huge meal before the show, but equally, for example, if we've got a 7:30 show, it's quite, or a 7:15 show as we have this evening, you don't want to eat too close to the show, or you don't want to eat a big meal just before it. So working out kind of when to eat sort of little and often is quite important. Anyway, fascinating stuff. We're going to have our little packed lunch, and then once we've done that, we'll go upstairs, make sure the last little bits and pieces are set for Christmas Carol, then we'll start to get into costume. So it's now about 12 minutes past 2. We've got kind of the base costume on, and house is open, so the audience are already coming in. We've basically got 5 or 10 minutes now to put on the other bits and pieces of costume before we get the beginner's call to go up for the start of the show. Right, so it's 2:25, and that means it's time to go upstairs and make sure we're outside in the wings, ready to go on. You ready?
I think so, yeah. You ready?
Yeah. So 2:30, first Christmas Carol of the day.
God rest you, merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay.
So we've pretty much just finished the second performance of the day with the first Christmas Carol, and we have briefly reset, come down, got changed. It was nice, wasn't it?
It was a lovely show. Oh, light flicker. Ooh.
That's all that was.
Yeah, it was a lovely show. And now we've got not very long, actually, before we have to be back again. So we're going to pop home to grab something hot to eat. It's always really difficult, like I was saying earlier.
It's all about the food, you see.
For me, it's all about the food, yeah.
To continue my boring lecture from earlier, it's all about the food.
It's tricky, though, to know when to eat. But anyway, we're going to do that. And then we'll be back here by 6 for this evening's 7:15 performance.
Yeah. So it's about 5:45 now. We came back to our digs, to our flat, for something to eat. And now we're going to head back out again, ready for this evening's show. As you can see from the big clock behind me there, that clock is actually fast, which is kind of sort of handy, isn't it? You ready?
Yeah. Putting my shoes on.
Right, let's go. So that's us in and set up for this evening's performance of Christmas Carol. We've just done the little bits and pieces that we need to do before the show, last minute things that we sort of don't like to set up and leave, but they need to be done before everything starts. Now I'm going to head down to the dressing room to find Antonia, and we'll start getting into costume. So 6:30, back in the dressing room. Time to get ready for the last show of the day. Christmas Carol again, and it's full again this evening, which is absolutely lovely. In fact, as far as I'm aware, Christmas Carol is sold out across the run, and we've just added an extra show as well, which has also sold a few tickets already. Lovely.
To save us all from Satan's power when we are gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Marley was dead, to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail.
So it's 9 o'clock, and we've just come down to the dressing room from today's last performance, Christmas Carol, and then straight after the performance, after the audience have left, we also then swap the set around, ready for tomorrow morning's Hansel Gretel, which is 10 o'clock, isn't it? 10 o'clock in the morning. So we're all done. We're going to get changed now. And I think, actually, we're probably, along with the lovely technician, we're going to go for a quick drink. We've just got back, and it's...
Just gone 10.
Yeah, it's a little... well, it's like 10:15.
Yeah.
You can't tell quite by that clock.
That clock
as I
is
said, it's
very
quite
wrong.
fast. And obviously we went for a quick drink afterwards, which was very nice. And now we'll maybe have a cup of tea.
Yeah, a little cup of tea.
Before
Get
we,
ready for bed. And maybe watch some MasterChef.
before we basically get up and do it all again tomorrow. So tomorrow we've got exactly the same format, another 3-show day. So yeah, same again tomorrow.